must tune in. He's ironic, iconic, maybe bionic. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Genius. He's a genius.
You know, I've just had a thought.
What's up?
We got to do a review of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
That's that. Is it a more Advanced Warfare?
Yes, of course it is.
Oh, that's the most amazing game ever. Oh my god, do you know what? That's the game that I bought full price.
They're not
with all the
paying
DLC.
us, Ollie. They're not paying us. We're not IGN.
They're not paying us.
No.
Oh, we should probably do a proper review.
Yes, we need to do a proper review of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Okay.
Yes.
Coming up next, a proper review. Buy all the game.
Ladies and gents, this is Michael Burhan from nerdgenius.com and animecourtyard.com, and I'm of course here with Oliver Hughes.
Hello.
And today we are reviewing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the PlayStation 3. Now, this game is pretty much your bog standard cut and paste in terms of your Call of Duty games, apart from the fact that you have some expensive gear like mechs, sort of body armour, and also a cybernetic arm. Taking you through the story at the moment, we'll go to Ollie here. So Ollie, tell us about the game.
It's the story's larger than other Call of Duty games. Other Call of Duty games where you've got a really weak story, really weak story, just to kind of buff out that it's a multiplayer game. This is it feels like they've put a bit of effort into the actual single player so it's kind of a balance. But saying that, the story isn't great. Start off as a US Marine or US soldier. You get injured rather than being discharged. A big company called Atlas kind of rebuilds your arm that
They
you've lost.
don't work for Sega, by the way.
No. You basically lose your arm, so they rebuild it as a mechanical arm. You then fight for them for a little while, and you find out that, oh no, this big multi-billion-dollar military organisation that now is bigger than any other military in the world is evil. Oh my god, shock horror.
Especially with Kevin Spacey in it, you knew it was going to be evil.
I know. And then the point where they reveal it's evil, I'm sitting there thinking, I don't believe the evidence. It's not conclusive, but nope. Your character does. Blindly follows. So then you jump back to being the Americans again, fighting against the company you worked for.
America!
Because only Americans can save the day according to Call of Duty.
Fuck yeah!
Language. But yeah, so then you've got to hunt down Kevin Spacey and kill him, and it's really that simple. There's no twist. They're trying to twist it by like, oh my god, evil corporation, but it's like, no, you could see it was coming. Story was weak. I don't know. I didn't relate to what the characters' choices were. But yeah, that's story-wise. You played a little bit of the story. What did you get from it?
Well, the story itself has a very kind of fickle response. There's choices that you can make in the game which are not really your own. It's kind of very linear, very well played out in a sense in its own right. So as you follow everything, you don't really have a choice. It's more of you have a set path. You've got to go on it. No matter what you do, it's going to be that kind of layered story. Now that leads us on to the gameplay. Now the gameplay itself, you've got like quick time events. You've got bullet times. You've basically have to follow a set structure. Otherwise, if you don't press a button at a certain time, or if you don't do something at a certain time, you're just going to die and then start again.
Yeah, that's really annoying. The fact is, it's unnecessary just for action. Like basically, you were saying when you were watching and playing, like Michael Bay. Like,
excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Michael Bay for joining us.
Unnecessarily big action scenes that go, okay, now you need to do this. That takes the skill out of the game. Just hit this button. Oh, you didn't hit it in time. Reset to the last checkpoint.
And you also have like your commanding officer yelling at you if you don't do something at a certain time.
Oh god, yeah. It's like go to this place. Okay, I'm heading there. Hurry up. It's like I'm on my way.
Yeah. And you seem very, very much overpowered as well in terms of the way that you do the advanced warfare. Your character is pretty much like Superman and the Incredible Hulk rolled into one. So there's certain times when you do die, it's usually just due to the fact that the game's kind of not as responsive as you want it to be. I remember like pounding on the freaking X button so many times just so that I could basically hit that quick time event, and I just don't do it. Other times it may work. Independent. We went for on the easy mode, and we were literally dying every like 5 minutes because we wouldn't hit a quick time.
Yeah, I mean the combat on because we for this review we replayed it on the easy difficulty just to for you to get a bit of experience.
Yeah.
And combat's fine. You mow through the enemies as you would, but then the quick time events come along and the slow motion events, which become really awkward and clumsy, and it's game over. They fail. Things.
And that's the problem. You fail a lot and you fail constantly. But, you know, as one of those games, if we look at the fact that the gameplay's there, we've got some nice, interesting sound. It feels like the atmospheric in terms of the way that you'd be, that you're in a war zone. Graphics-wise, it's pretty good. We were actually debating whether or not it'd be better resolution on the PS4 and Xbox One.
I don't think so, because, to be honest, they'd have to re-release the game with higher res, and to be honest, they don't have to because people are going to buy it. So I don't think the graphics are going to be much better.
But for me, I basically enjoyed it. I think it's really nice. The textures seem great. Yeah. Kevin Spacey looks like an old man, so that's great. But in terms of the gameplay and the gameplay style itself, it's not something that I'm usually interested in. To tell you the truth, I'm more a fan of Destiny than I am of this, because I felt Destiny was more varied in terms of the gameplay style, where this one is kind of linear in terms of what you want. The single player is a bit dodgy in itself, and the response times aren't that great, and that leads us going on to the multiplayer. The multiplayer is pretty much the key multiplayer FPS.
As it is in Call of Duty's main staple is multiplayer.
Yeah, and that's with everything. You have the single player component that's locked away in the multiplayer itself. The multiplayer is pretty good. You level up. You have to work in teams in order to basically take down your opponents.
There is a level up. That is one thing. Your suit that you're wearing, you do get points for kills, and you can level it up.
Yeah.
To a point, you can kind of upgrade your suit a little bit to make the end levels a little bit better.
But that's the usual thing now with a lot of FPS shooters. You do have that mixture of kind of RPG elements where you get to level up certain elements. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good positive as well. We said the graphics and the design and the layout looked really great. But the problem is, it's, you know, you don't get much free roaming. It's one of those things where you have a set
A
path.
to B.
Yeah.
There is cool things like you get magnetic gloves so you can climb walls. You think, I can climb walls, but no, you can climb this wall that they're telling you to climb, and when you get to the top, you're never going to use it again. And
you also do get other little elements and contraptions like technology that your character has that you can utilise in certain parts of the game. Not all the time. You get like this grenade where you can actually let you see through enemies, like through the walls. You get guns where you can actually identify who the enemy is and who the friendly is. You know, so you've got a lot of stuff that can allow you to get through the game quite easily. It's kind of the same debate that you'd had with the Batman Arkham series and him using detective mode all the time. You could literally just breeze through the game that way. And in this, it's no different.
Yeah, I found that when I was playing the game, because I played it on the hardest difficulty initially, and got through the game like that. Normal guns, like with normal sights, ridiculously hard to find, tell the difference between friendlies and enemies. You get the special sight that has threat sensor, and then the enemies glow red. You just pop them in the head, and there's absolutely no challenge to the game after that. It literally is time crisis.
Yeah, the reason why this game gets so hard at times is basically because of the fact that you have more than one enemy coming after you. So usually when you hit one guy, you've got someone at the back, or if you're hitting someone from the left, there's always someone at the right coming after you.
Which makes sense in combat.
Yeah.
I mean, enemies will flank you and stuff, but the AI in the game, that's one pet peeve that really, really bugs me. You go in a team, and there was one point where I stood there with my shield open. There was 5 of my teammates firing at one guy. Not one of them even injured him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The AIs themselves are very low responsive, very sluggish, and they're characters that don't seem to be working as well as they should work. But, you know, in the end, it is what it is. Now let's go basically to our end scores. The game at the moment, as it stands, I would give it a 7 out of 10 just for the fact that it has a very good multiplayer component to it. The story mode's not all that cracked up to be, but if you want to get a kind of a tutorial or way to play through the game and enjoy it, then that'll be fine. It's kind of one of those hyped up Michael Bay type of story events anyway. So that's my 7 out of 10 on that. Is it worth purchasing? I would say if you're basically a fan of the series, yes. If you're not, then I would give this one a miss.
Yeah, I would give the game 5 out of 10. It's got a lot of good elements, but again, every good element is countered by something bad. So you've got really cool technology, but you can only use it in certain times. You have really cool like threat things to tell where the enemies are, but it makes the game ridiculously easy. The multiplayer is really varied, really fast, but they have no level pairing, so you end up going up against people. You've got a basic gun, you've got people who've got specialist sights and specialist upgrades and stuff that can just take you down really easily. You can play co-op multiplayer, but only certain one type of survival game. There's no co-op deathmatch. The local play is really bad as well.
Yeah, it's kind of non-existent. I'm not going to lie. You can't mix and match on both of those.
No. So for everything good that it does, on the same coin, it does awful. There's really, really bad things. So yeah, 5 out of 10. It's an okay game. The game is fluid. It flows well, but again, it's very narrow how much you can see. You got no perspective. I was running next to a guy in multiplayer once. We were running next. It's only the fact that I slowed down and he ran in front of me that I actually saw he was there. So there's no peripherals. So
is it worth the price for you though?
I would not buy this game. I'm not the biggest Call of Duty fan. I like my first-person shooters, but Call of Duty, I've always avoided them because they do feel copy and pasted from previous games, and this is really no different. It's just got a few extra flashy bits. So rent it, borrow it off a friend. Unless you're a hardcore Call of Duty fan, don't worry about it. And to be honest, if you've not bought it by now, there's no point, because all the hardcore fans have already found all the little sneaky spots on the maps where they can just snipe you and wait and spawn kill, because that's what it comes down to.
So there you go, guys. He's Ollie Hughes. I'm Michael Burhan. Just to tell you that we've got gameplay.
Have you?
If you only knew the power on the dark side.
2, 1, 0.